So we got Steven Gostkowski will be kicking off, and deep back will be Andre Davis. The Patriots, the Texans, and away we go with Davis, who had 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns a couple years ago, taking it up and brought down on the play. Looked like Pat Chung got him after a 22-yard return. A lot of changes defensively for the Pats, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. Arian Foster coming off a career-high 97-yard rushing game last week down in Miami. Will begin in the backfield with a 1st and 10 for Shaw. A little high, incomplete, looking for Johnson. The coverage across the way by the veteran Sean Springs. Leach has now come in as a fullback for Matt Shaw out of the University of Virginia. Back up to Mike Vick down in Atlanta. That is caught. Kevin Walter. The coverage on the play by rookie Darius Butler. 17-yard pickup. Solomon, mark him at the 41.
I think this is how you want to play it if you're Houston. Spread them out. Throw the football. Get the ball in between the tight seams to Kevin Walter, and then run the ball later. And I think it has to start with the protection up front for Matt Shaw. And he had protection, and he was able to drill it home to Kevin Walter to move the chains and create a new set of downs.
So Burgess is going to be on that defensive line. You see the allotment of defensive backs and linebackers, 4 in the secondary with a 1st down. Foster had a nice block on Adalys Thomas. That offers time for Schaub, who finds his terrific receiver Andre Johnson working on Sean Springs. A completion to the 47 of New England, a 13-yard pickup.
Well, the thing is, they want to get the ball to Andre Johnson. See him in the bunch formation, sitting down in coverage. The ability to pick up the blitzing Adalys Thomas allows time for Schaub to get the ball over to Andre Johnson. And we talked to Belichick. It's hard to take a guy like him out of the offense when they move him around so often and do so many things with him.
It's 1st and 10. They'll mark him at the 46. And that's Arian Foster, undrafted and a rookie out of the University of Tennessee. Here is a 2nd down and 9 for the Houston Texans on the game-opening drive. Foster again, Winston the right tackle with the block on Burgess. Merriweather had him, and then Mayo brings him down. Good-looking run. 19-yard pickup on the play. We'll spot him at the 27.
All right, Bill Belichick will not be happy with this. Anytime you can seal the edge, you can see Wright getting sealed, 51 Mayo getting sealed. And if they can get the ball carrier to the edges of the defense, that's where yards are to be gained. Typically, with a 3-4 defensive alignment, Kevin, you're going to outflank the offense, so you should not be able to run the ball outside on the edge, as we saw Arian Foster do on that play.
Veteran Chris Brown is now checked in the backfield for Schaub in the offense. Game-opening drive. Anderson has become the 3rd wide receiver. Blocked by Brown outside to Johnson. And sticking with it across the way was Derek Burgess. They got him in a trade earlier this season with the Oakland Raiders. It's a gain of 2 and spot him at the 25.
And completely trying to get the ball, if you're Matt Schaub, to Andre Johnson. All the pass plays designed to go to him. We did see one go to Kevin Walter, but clearly wanting to get Johnson the ball. Remember Johnson, after that 2nd loss to the Indianapolis Colts, he came out and made a declaration telling his teammates, no one's going to play harder than I will these next 5 games. And boy, has he done it, and he's put up some monster numbers.
2nd down and 8. They got right now playing the nose tackle. Burgess on the side, 4 in the secondary. You see Leach in the backfield. Moats was back there too. Wide open Treason. A blown coverage by Mayo, and that is a touchdown. A 25-yard strike by quarterback Matt Shaw.
Wow.
Wow is right.
We told you that Gary Kubiak was going to come out with aggressive play calling, trying to land the early knockout blow. Now watch the tight end. He's coming right off the right side of your screen, wide open behind the secondary. And Andre Johnson said that there are some times when this defense want to sit on routes because they expect the pressure to get to the quarterback. Didn't get to Schaub on that play, creating a touchdown for the Houston Texans.
Some terrific plays on that drive. The Chris Brown extra point is up and in. That's only the 2nd opening touchdown drive allowed by the Patriots this season, Solomon.
Well, you know, it's a very good defense, but there are oftentimes miscommunication on the back end, allowing Joe Dreesen to get wide open for a touchdown.
This will be Butler back at about the goal line for the New England Patriots, and then brought down on the play.
Welcome back as The Houston Texans take a 7-0 lead. Now here is the play. They're going to sneak the back out here. Dreesen's in motion. He comes up the field, and then here's where two guys are going to follow him, and that's where they drop coverage because the outside linebacker jumps to the outside. Now watch Dreesen go up the field, and now watch it right here. You got two guys chasing one, leaving him wide open for a touchdown. And that's the miscommunication on the back end. They've got to be able to play it better and have to communicate better on the back end of the defense.
So is that a linebacker's responsibility or a safety?
It's the linebacker and safety's job to communicate who has Joe Dreesen in man-to-man coverage.
There you see, Brady's going to start. Morris back there, inactive today, Maroney, inactive today, Falk, first down and 10. Right on the money, that's Moss. First and 10, Patriots first possession from the 36. They got by Logan Mankins. And they throw outside looking for Welker. The linebacker Dials was covering on the play. Two tight ends. Morris had a nice game last week, including a 55-yard run. Will take it up. With the stop is Pollard. It is a gain of 6. Solomon up to the 41-yard line.
And Frank Bush, the defensive coordinator for the Houston Texans, dialed up blitzes on first and second down. They blitzed Tom Brady on the first down, which was a pass. They also blitzed on that run play. Now, I think what they're going to try to do is create a mortal mentality for the New England Patriots. Their #1 priority is to do what? Stay healthy.
Yes.
Hard to do that when the other team is playing very aggressive to come hit your quarterback.
Into the nickel. Edelman in motion, 3rd down and 4 for Brady. Mankins a good block right there. This is a first down catch and run by, and he was holding his knee. Welker holding his knee. Welker holding his knee after the 13-yard catch and run. Boy, you just talked about health. At the 46-yard line, he held it almost without even being hit. Did you see that?
I think Glover Quinn fell on him after he hit the ground.
Well, let's
take a look at it. He'll make the catch over the middle of the field. It's an in and out route. We call it an option route. Now watch 29 fall on him after he hits the ground. Oh, there it is right there.
Oh, my gosh.
There it is. And you don't want to speculate as to what that could be, but he clearly jammed it into the turf. He came up holding that left knee. But when we talk about wanting to stay healthy, now this can happen in any game. He was out there playing. He's playing very aggressive. This could happen any week. And Bill Belichick, this is one guy that is so valuable to what they do offensively. You can't lose him. You don't want to lose him.
And this goes back to the core of the headline heading into this game for the Patriots. Who do you start? Who do you rest?
Well, look at this. Now that could happen any week. I mean, we hope that that's just something that he can put some ice on, get some treatment, and be able to play. And so hopefully he'll be okay. And now after seeing that, I would expect him to be taken out of today's game and maybe not come back in it, considering how much pain he seems to be in right now.
This is a Texas kid who went to Texas Tech most of his years growing up in Oklahoma.
That's a good sign that he's walking.
It is, but regardless of how you see it, and you see that Belichick goes out there, this is a huge story for the New England Patriots. This guy is as important as any player on this team, the way he has been catching and running after the catches and impacting the opposing defense.
And when I talk about creating a mortal sense of mentality for the Patriots, I don't mean go out and hurt someone, but you want to be very physical because their #1 priority is to stay healthy.
Edelman will take his place. It is a 1st and 10 for Brady on the first possession for the Patriots at the 46, and good blocking on that right side. Fulmer was over there opening up a hole, and this is Sammy Morris getting 2. Brought down on the play by Ryans, and also on that line, Delwan Robinson, as they continue to look at the left knee of Wes Welker.
And now how much of what you saw in that play, if you're Bill Belichick, do you start to want to get other guys off the field?
64, Mark LaVore. Late by St. Louis back in 08. Extra lineman right here with the 2 tight ends. In the backfield is Fred Taylor. 2nd down and 8. Leading the way down to about the 41-yard line, hit by a host of players over there, including Mario Williams and Jeff Skinina, one of the oldest defensive players in the National Football League, with the gain of 4 to the 41.
You know, Kevin, it's been a talk all week, and you can see Wes Welker. He's very emotional. I mean, he's hurt, and that I've been in that situation. I've seen players when they're that emotional, they know that there's something quite not right. And that's been the talk all week long. How do you play these games with the priority being on, hey, I got to stay healthy. I think there's only one way to play football, and that's all out.
Backfield with Morris. Aiken was the extra wide receiver. And it's Cushing bringing down Morris on a loss of a yard. And they'll be back to about the 43-yard line. The face, the expression, the tears, and hiding his comments with the towel told everything you need to know about that injury for Westwood. Oh, this is just crushing.
It doesn't look positive.
Crushing.
We met with him last week, and we just praised him for how tough he is. He's not a big guy, and we talked with the owner, with Mr. Robert Kraft last night, who said he just loves Wes Welker because he puts it on the line for his team every single week, and the emotion that you see there is the sense that maybe he has let his team down. They're going for it on fourth down.
On the 43-yard line, 4th and 6, and they're going to call a timeout. Yep. Brady didn't like what he saw. There were 5 in the secondary. The Colts are set at number 1. The San Diego Chargers, winners of 10 consecutive games, are set at number 2. It's that 3rd and 4th thing now, which is jockeying back and forth, and a lot waiting on today. Who will be number 3? Who will be number 4?
Yeah, and if the Patriots take care of business, win it today, then obviously they could keep that 3rd seed. But how about the Jets and the Ravens? They win and they're in. Take a look at what the Patriots need to do to clinch the number 3 seed.
Well, the timeout was taken by Tom Brady. It was 4th and 6. He took a look at the defense. They decide to punt. This is going on with Wes Welker being taken off the field, as you can see. The left knee, when he tried to cut, he wasn't hit. He was making a cut with his partner right there, Randy Moss. And you said it in the open of the show, they make each other so effective.
Yeah, if you were to ask the coach which guy is more important, he would tell you they're equally both important because they work so well off one another and how they use both Wes Welker and Randy Moss. You can't say one guy is more important than the other.
Jacoby Jones is back for the Chris Hansen punt. Rookie Ingram with the snap. They're going to let that go, and making a nice bounce. Great knuckleball, well placed. Punt to the 10. Now the Texans get it for a second time. There's Bill Belichick talking to scouts and probably talking to his locker room to get an update on Wes Welker from the 11-yard line. It is 1st down and 10. Foster is in the backfield, and he gets the call. And he was hit by Derek Burgess. As the Patriots were working with 5 in the secondary, it's a gain of 1. 2nd down and 8. Foster remains in the backfield from the 13-yard line. Still the nickel for the New England Patriots. And Wright playing the nose. That's brought down with Foster being tackled by Burgess at about the 18-yard line. Well, we have canvassed what is going on for the New England Patriots, but for Gary Kubiak and his Houston Texans today.
How about this? They have a playoff pulse. They need a win and then a loss or a tie by 2 of the following 3 teams, either Baltimore, Denver, or the New York Jets. And we've seen stranger things happen, so they certainly believe they have a shot to get in.
Chris White now playing that right guard for Houston. They will be rotating that right guard position. Here is a 3rd and 3, still the nickel. They got by Winston. And the pass a little bit off going for Anderson, but Winston, the right tackle, let his guy come around. Wright was over there. You saw Jarvis Green over there. That's a 3 and out for the Houston Texans. They got a punt.
Boy, they're able to get around the corner, and boy, did they get a hit. This is Derek Burgess coming around that side, as you mentioned, beating Eric Winston. Look at the hit. He gets sandwiched, and just about everybody falls on top of him. And remember, he's playing with a partially dislocated shoulder. He's wearing a harness just to keep it intact.
Welker would normally return punts. Back there is Julian Edelman, rookie, Kent State, 7th-round pick. Matt Turk, oldest punter in the National Football League, to send this away. Hang time of 3-8. And down to about the 37-yard line, 38-yard line. You know, they've lost Welker, and we're going to get word later on from the PR department of the New England Patriots. Would you take out Moss? You've lost one half of this great tandem.
The Patriots have never played scared. They go down with their boots on. And Teddy Bruschi said it best. They play with guts. Everything they're going to do all out.
Edelman takes the place of Welker. 1st and 10 for Brady with Morris in the backfield. There is Edelman, the former college quarterback, hit by D'Amico Ryans. It's a gain of 3 to the 40. Conley is back in as the fullback. He was playing the right guard. Neal takes his place on the line. Fred Taylor in the backfield. There's a block by Light at left tackle, buying time for Brady, and incomplete to Watson with the coverage in the secondary by the rookie, Glover Quinn.
And you can see Tom Brady was not happy. He wanted Randy Moss deep, and boy, did they have him covered. See, Randy Moss is going deep. Watch him look down the field. He's covered, so now he's got to come underneath to Watson, who is covered by Glover Quinn. Now, Quinn would normally be playing Wes Welker in that coverage, and that's where Welker beat him on the one catch when he was injured.
5 in the secondary. That's what Brady studies right now with a 3rd down and 7. First time the Patriots had it. 7 plays punt. Morris at his side. Good block by Neal. That's caught for a 1st down. Benjamin Watson banged by Pollard, the same guy that got Brady at the beginning of last season. 14-yard pickup on 3rd and 7. Mark him at the 46.
Oh, this is the matchup they want, and this is Benjamin Watson matched up against the rookie linebacker Cushing. Well, you can see 56 trailing, but Pollard comes up and lays a whack. And remember Pollard, he was the guy that made the play playing for Kansas City in week 1 last year that hit Tom Brady in the knee and knocked Brady out for the remainder of the season.
Barwin, Robinson, Scanina, and Bowman on the defensive line for the Houston Texans. Morris in the backfield, 1st and 10. Sammy Morris. Brought down on the play. Cushing, that rookie out of USC, makes the stop. There's no gain. They stay at the 46-yard line.
Well, you get the sense that the Patriots need to score and score while they still have Tom Brady in the ball game.
The nickel is out there, 2nd and 10. Moss still in the game, in the slot, bottom of your screen. That's a wide open receiver, and that is the other tight end, Baker, who comes from the New York Jets after 7 seasons. A 13-yard pickup. He's to the 33. The coverage by Quinn, another 1st down.
Now watch how the coverage, they'll just jump onto Benjamin Watson. They leave Baker wide open in the flat. So they follow 84, and 86 is wide open. And he's just playing the sticks. He knows where the 1st down marker is, make the catch and run, and the defense can't recover until it's too late.
Again, Maroney and Falk were inactive today, healthy scratches. On the 33, 1st and 10. Morris, one of the 5 receivers out there for Tom Brady. Moss hit low. What a hit. Quinn, you know, I got to tell you, it kind of takes your breath away when Moss gets hit because of what's happened to Welker. It's a gain of 4 to the 29.
But you can't play scared. They're all football players. Whether it's week 15 or 16, they're always hitting like this. And Randy Moss will tell you, he's been in the league long enough that it doesn't matter. And I think if you're going to play, and this is what Belichick prepared his guys for, hey, you're going to play, be prepared to play for 60 minutes.
Taylor in the backfield, 2nd down and 6, and the 2 tight ends remain. Brady, as you can see, has already hit 5 different receivers in this game. 2nd possession for New England. Taylor. Oh, nice penetration back there by Mario Williams, who was challenged by his head coach, Gary Kubiak, in the press this week. No gain on the play. They stay at the 29.
He is equally good against both the run and the pass. We know he can pressure the quarterback. Watch him knife in underneath and was able to make that tackle on Fred Taylor. This defense has gotten better. Remember, the first 3 weeks of the season, they struggled to stop the run. And since then, they've been playing lights out under their first-year defensive coordinator, Frank Bush.
Probably trusting his players a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. And they've developed and have gotten better as the season gone on.
It's 3rd and 6. Morris in the backfield. 5 in the defensive secondary. Jock Reeves has come back there. Morris with the block, buying time for Brady. Edelman, look at him miss. Look at the block downfield by Watson. He's down to the 4-yard line, weaving his way for a terrific catch and run of 25. And it's 1st and goal. Cushing finally makes the stop.
Julian Edelman, he can be your Wes Welker. Watch the block right there. See, you pick up the blitzing linebacker, and then you're able to get open on the back end. He beats Glover Quinn, and then he's able to make other defenders miss, and that's how he's able to get close to the end zone.
Former college quarterback. There's a look at Edelman, and 64 is Mark LaVore. Then Jarvis Green Ellis is the fullback on the handoff going to Taylor. What a great block by Green Ellis that opens the door on the 4-yard touchdown run. The Patriots just reload. They bring in one great versatile player after another. Taylor goes in from 4. And they get the block by the fullback.
Off the left tackle. Look at, they are able to get to the edge. Really good block. And what did Gary Kubiak tell us? He said, we're playing against the scheme, and we're playing also against the depth on this roster of the New England Patriots. No matter who they bring in, you're going to get their A game.
The 65th rushing touchdown in the terrific career of 12-year veteran Fred Taylor. He played last week after being inactive for 10 against his old team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a terrific drive led by Brady downfield. This could tie the game right here, and does. If you're just joining us, Wes Welker injured in the first series today. Hurt a knee in the locker room. We're waiting word on the specifics of the injury.
But how about Tom Brady, particularly on that drive, converting twice on 3rd down. 3rd and 7, gets it for 14 yards to Watson. Then on 3rd and 6, another 25 yards to Edelman. So they were able to regroup after the injury to Wes Welker.
You see the Gostkowski kickoff, and this is Andre Davis, who got a nice block right there by Skamina and by Vontae Leaks, and the kicker knocks him out of bounds. Gostkowski. It is 1st and 10. Moats in the backfield. Myron Pryor now playing the right defensive end. Wright is in the middle on the defensive line for the New England Patriots with the 1st and 10. Shot throw. McGowan makes the stop on Dreesen, who caught the earlier touchdown pass of 25. That's a 17-yard pickup down to the Patriot 44.
And there's a look at your AFC wildcard picture. We told you the Jets and the Ravens, if they win today, they get in. All those other teams need some help. The Houston Texans understand. They have a big-time game on their hands today against one of the better teams in the league in the New England Patriots. They win today. It's their 9th win. And for the first time in their 8-year history, they'll have a winning record. And then, of course, if they can get it to the playoffs, you know they will be celebrating in the streets tonight in Houston.
It's 1st down and 10 for Matt Schaub. Brian Moats brought down on the play with no gain by the veteran, 20 years in the NFL, Junior Seau. The Texans head coach Gary Kubiak said earlier this week that the Patriots will be the best team that they play this season, and they play the Indianapolis Colts twice a year.
Yeah, and they feel like this is the ultimate test. Remember, it's been an up and down season, I think, and through that adversity, this team under Gary Kubiak has really matured, and Bill Belichick is going to give them that ultimate test to see if they can take the next step.
The nickel secondary on 2nd down and 5 in the first play of the 2nd quarter. They get 2nd down and 10. Schaub has already thrown a touchdown pass today. Good block by Brown. The left tackle wearing a brace on that knee. Incomplete the coverage by Guyton. They were going for Moats. Down goes Schaub. This offensive line has done a pretty good job protecting Schaub this season.
Yeah, but Schaub is starting to take some hits right now. I mean, he's not getting sacked, but he's going to have to get in the whirlpool when this one's over. The jersey's getting dirty. And look at Burgess. Burgess could have stayed high. Instead, he goes for the soft area on Matt Schaub, and boy, did Schaub feel that lick.
What's your sense in the confidence of the swagger of this Texans team?
I think that after overcoming a 4-game losing streak and then winning 3 in a row, I think they've matured throughout this season. Today, we'll learn just how much they've grown.
3rd down and 10. And they got that moving front with a lot of linebackers, a lot of defensive backs, and he's going deep, and he's got his main target, Andre Johnson. The coverage on the play was by the rookie, Darius Butler, inactive last week, a healthy scratch, but taking the place today of Lee Bodden at that cornerback position.
Watch Butler. Now, Butler does a good job of what we call widening the receiver. See, he takes Johnson off his track, and see how he goes wide? So he can't get over the top and back inside to get to the football. Now, I think Schaub could have put this ball outside toward the pylon, over the sideline. I think Johnson would have been able to get to it, but got to give Butler real good credit for good coverage.
And you use the sideline as kind of an extra defender, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, he was able to widen off the path to the football. I think that was really key to the coverage.
This will be fair caught by Edelman at the 8. It's 1st down and 10. He sent Morris wide. Incomplete, looking for Moss. They had Russell back there. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Let's revisit what is a painful moment now for the Patriots, the injury to Wes Welker.
Yeah, we may have to add this to a defining moment in 2009. The left knee buckled under Wes Welker as he made that crucial cut. We've seen him make that move all season long, limping off the field, and even a concern with the ownership of Robert Kraft as they were able to take him into the locker room to further examine that knee, and right now, huge concern for the New England Patriots.
Only 4 defensive backs on the 2nd down and 10. And you see Morris try to climb into the teeth of that defense and brought down by Okoye, among others, with a gain of 4 down to the 14-yard line.
And I really want to just go ahead and say this right now. I think a guy like Julian Edelman, remember, this is a team that prepares for what comes next. They have great depth at almost every position on their football team. I think the one guy that's irreplaceable is Tom Brady. But that's what we thought last year when Matt Castle came in and led them to 11 wins. So Julian Edelman is going to have an opportunity to provide for this offense what Wes Welker has always given them.
Conley now playing the left guard, taking the place of Mankins on this 3rd down and 5. Edelman bottom of his screen. The nickel secondary. The block by Morris. The block by Kazir. That is a first down catch by Randy Moss. Chased by Quinn. Moss galloping his way down inside the 50 to the 45-yard line. A catch and run of 42 yards. Another first down for the New England Patriots.
Randy Moss is wide open coming off the left side of your screen over the middle of the field. See the linebackers underneath coverage? They went towards Julian Edelman, and then there's Randy Moss, able to get inside of the safety. And watch Bernard Pollard, number 31. You've got to slide inside and be underneath that pass thrown to Randy Moss. At that point, Pollard was covering air, and you never want to cover air and leave Randy Moss wide open.
With the two tight ends, and Morris in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line of the Houston Texans. Nice block by Baker. Watson, the other tight end, making the grab right there. Dials touches him. 7-yard gain, and to the 38 of the Texans.
Right now, the Houston Texans are in trouble. If you can't get pressure on Tom Brady, well, look, they block it. And once you get them all blocked, he's going to find the open guy, as he does there, getting the ball to Ben Watson.
All right, the Patriots have just called our truck downstairs, told us left knee will not return for Welker. 2nd down and 3. 4 in the secondary for the Houston Texans. Sidney Morris, the ex-Bill, the ex-Dolphin. Well, they had Bowman in there making the stop. Zach Dials makes the stop. It's a loss of 5.
How about Pittsburgh? They had lost 5 straight and now have clawed their way back into the playoff race.
Nope, they're the defending champions. They got that medal.
For a reason.
Yeah, 3rd down and 8. Brady gets by Mario Williams. Oh, and he's got Moss. He's working on Robinson in the end zone. Incomplete. A flag is down at the 38-yard line. I'll tell you what, when Moss gets deep, I get to the edge of my seat every time.
You have to hold your breath.
He is something else. My goodness. What a threat Randy Moss is. One of the greats at that position, statistically and otherwise, we've ever seen.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 59, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And that's the Pro Bowl linebacker, D'Amico Ryans.
D'Amico Ryans was in underneath coverage, and as the receiver turned to go up the field, once Tom Brady broke containment and began to scramble, then it becomes a free-for-all, and that's where linebackers who are usually in cover, they can cover you through the first phase of the play, but through that second phase, that's where their guy tends to get open.
In the first penalty of the game right there. I love the mottos of the Patriots. Do your job, one game at a time. Worry about the task at hand. I mean, things that just reverberate through their minds.
So much of the focus is on the process, not the outcome.
That's a good point. 1st down and 10. Trying to find some room outside without a lot there was Morris. Pollard among many, and Okoye make the stop after a gain of 3. We'll spot him at the 35-yard line.
Now, we talk about their depth. How about the rookie, Sebastian Vollmer? He started some games at left tackle for Matt Light, starting today at right tackle for Nick Kazir. So we talk about a young player being versatile, can play 2 different positions, and then the depth that they have up front on the offensive line. And we talk about it at the wide receiver position. We've seen it on their defensive line where they've had some injuries and been able to rotate and mix many guys who still come in to get the job done.
Balmer started 5 games earlier in the season at the left tackle. Last couple at the right tackle, playing the left side right now with Green Ellis in the game, and a 2nd down and 7. On the 7th play of the drive, it is a gain of 2, and it was taken by Ben Jarvis. Green Ellis, he's out of Mississippi, and he's down to about the 33-yard line.
And we talk about depth of Bill Belichick. He's going to allow everybody to play. Today, Lawrence Maroney and Kevin Falk are listed inactive. And so, therefore, Sammy Morris gets the start. We're going to see more of Fred Taylor and Jarvis Green Ellis. I mean, that's the fact that they're going to play a lot of different guys at different positions, and the depth that they have to do it, I think, is simply remarkable.
Brady back there again with a 3rd and 5, and earlier on the NFL Today from New York, Charlie Casserly reporting that there are 3 broken ribs that Brady's playing with today. Let's see if they protect him here. They haven't allowed a sack in 4 games, over 4 games. Edelman outside, and they just blow that play dead. Or his knee went down. His knee went down. The ball hits the ground.
Yeah.
It's an incomplete pass, and they're going to have to give it away.
I think the ball hit the ground. This ball came out, and Tom Brady didn't have his footwork going, and that's why this was all arm. Watch the ball. It's going to skip and hit the ground just ever so slightly. And see right there, when it touches the ground, they blow it dead. His knee never hit the ground. He even had his knee hit the ground, then he still would have been live with the football. The ball touches the ground, so it's an incomplete.
The hold will come from Hansen. This is Gostkowski from 51 yards away. His long this season from 53. This to give the New England Patriots the lead with under 10 to play in the first half, and he gets it. 51-yard field goal by a free agent to be kicker Stephen Gostkowski.
Yeah, and for all the Monday morning quarterbacks who will try to second guess Bill Belichick's decision to play his starters. First of all, they wanted to play. Tom Brady told us that when we met with them last night. Second of all, this is how the Patriots always do it. They're full tilt. They're going to play hard, and I don't know that you can chalk that injury up to, just because he played week 17. It can happen at any point in the season, and it happened without contact.
Andre Davis is going to bring it from about 5 yards out, and he is brought down on the play by Eric Alexander from the 21. After the Patriots just got a 51-yard field goal to take their first lead with 10 unanswered points. First down and 10. Leach is the fullback, and Arian Foster is in the backfield. Good block by Studdard, the left guard. This is the fullback. Leach always got room to roll. Held it out of bounds by the rugged Brandon Merriweather. Gained the catch and run to the 47-yard line. Solomon picks up 26 yards.
And this Patriots defense, they're really so intent on not getting beat deep. They're leaving guys wide open underneath. Leach catches this one, and he just runs for daylight because so much of the attention was paid to Jacoby Jones. And so they're going to have to tighten up the coverage. I know you don't want to give the big play to Andre Johnson. Right now, he's serving as the decoy while other guys are catching the ball.
Very long for Leach. First down and 10. Foster. A couple miss, including Mayo and Guyton. Finally, the rookie Darius Butler brings him down after a swerving run of 13 yards and a first down. He's an emerging player with this team to the 40-yard line of the New England Patriots.
Foster was very impressive last week. Watch how he takes this one outside. See, they crash underneath. He bounces it outside. We've seen him get to the edge of this Patriots defense running the ball for the second time today, and that's where the yards are to be gained. You would think they would want to keep him inside where there's more help for defenders.
Rookie free agent, he was called off the practice squad after the season-ending injury to Slayton. First down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Foster again. The block by the center Myers moves the pile. Gain of 3. Put him at the 37. And they have all kinds of guys there making the stop. Hey, it was interesting to hear that there is so much tape watching of Tom Brady that Matt Schaub has done. In fact, Gary Kubiak urges him to watch a lot of Brady to pick up some of his good habits.
He said that they're kind of the same athlete. You know, that they're not real running quarterbacks. They're rhythm passers who make their plays from the pocket. Yeah, they move reasonably well, but they're going to make all their plays with their arms. And so, yeah, Gary Kubiak put together a reel of Tom Brady. He shows it to Matt Schaub, and they've had tremendous results.
4 in the secondary on the second down and 7. Brown lets his guy go through, and that moves now out of the pocket. Schaub, and there's a great-looking throw at the catch made. That's Jacoby Jones. At about the 22-yard line, a diving catch of 15. Butler was over there. Mayo makes him with a hit at the 23-yard line.
This is really about the protection from Matt Schaub, even after he moves around. Look, he's got all day. And at times, the Patriots really have struggled to get pressure on the opposing quarterback. And I think that's when they're vulnerable on the back end. We've seen them give up huge chunks in the Monday night game to Drew Brees because they couldn't get pressure on him. And against Carolina, the Panthers made some plays on him, and so did Chad Henne in the Dolphins game.
Moats is in on 1st and 10. Lead block by Studdard, and the tackle made by Mayo, as you see right there, after a gain of 3. So on this drive, Solomon, a catch and run by Leach at 26. 13-yard run by Foster, 15-yard catch moments ago by Jacoby Jones.
And they have to get pressure on Matt Schaub. Only 30 sacks on the day, ranked 21st in the National Football League by this New England Patriots defense. Tully Bantakane, number 95, he's been the guy recently able to get pressure. But remember, Will Fork out of today's game. Ty Warren also inactive for today's game.
White playing the nose, Burgess outside, Green on the other side, second down, short 7. Moats remains. Secondary with 4. Second read for Schaub. Oh, right through the hands. Oh, there's a flag. Sanders is back there. Anderson was drilled, the 3rd receiver, and you can see he's slow to get up.
Late hit to the back of the head on Anderson.
Sanders was right there.
Wow. This is when players can really get hurt.
Personal foul Unnecessary roughness. Number 36, hitting a defenseless receiver.
That's right.
First down.
He was in a defenseless position.
Yeah,
and,
right.
And even worse, it's a blow to the head. Listen in. Ooh. That's what we don't want in the National Football League. And I know Sanders, he had no ill intent, just playing hard. But they coach it up through training camp in the preseason. You can't hit a defenseless receiver, and you certainly can't hit them below, or I should say above the shoulders to the head area.
Andre Johnson has only caught 2 today, and so spreading it around has been the quarterback Matt's job. Anderson walks off under his own power. First and goal at the 9. It's Dreesen who caught a touchdown pass earlier in motion the tight end. He offers a block, and this is Andre Johnson. One-on-one with Sanders, who was called for that penalty, and down at about the 3-yard line. Catch and run Andre Johnson of 6 yards on the play. We're nice chemistry between Schaub and Johnson. Huh?
Watch how they designed this play. 85, the block by Dreesen. That is what gets Andre Johnson to the edge. You know, these wide receiver screen plays, almost every offense has it. You can see the Patriots doing it a lot with Wes Welker. It's designed to get the ball in the hands of their best wide receiver who can run after the catch, and it's essentially a run play.
Rookie Antoine Caldwell playing that right guard. Foster remains second goal at the 2. Arian Foster. Nice block by Winston to get to the 1. And Mayo among others.
Wow.
And Sanders at the bottom of that pile after the gain of a yard. And we got some shoving after the play.
How about Mayo? Oh, he just laid a lick. He teed off on the tackle Eric Winston. Then he teed off on the ball carrier, Arian Foster.
Foster.
Here he is right there. Watch 51. Coming down here. Teed her off. Look at that.
Well, the Patriots have a lot of great goal line play. They have not allowed any more than 4 rushing touchdowns this season. Tied for the best in the NFL. 3rd and goal at the 1. The fake to Foster. Here comes Wright. Oh, look at him now. Myron Pryor was pushing the pocket. It's out of bounds, looking for Leach. Dallas Thomas on the coverage, a irritated Matt Schaub. I'm telling you, you get deep on this Patriot defense. There's a lot of pride over there. Like I said, they've only allowed 4 rushing touchdowns all season. That time they went to the air.
They tried to run it initially, did the Texans, and then they tried to go with the old okey-doke. Fake the run and sneak the receivers behind him. And look at Schaub. He's saying, hey, let's go ahead and get the play in. Let's try to get it run. But I think on that last play, the Patriots had him dead to rights. Let's see how they'll defend this play.
Rashad Butler is coming as a tackle eligible on the right side. Foster remains. Johnson on the move, 4th and goal at the 1. And they blow that play dead because there's a timeout taken by the New England defense. Solomon running the football is an issue here in Texas.
And you got to be able to pound the rock in and around the goal line. Steve Slayton out for the year. Chris Brown has fumbled in situations like this. So has Ryan Moats, and Arian Foster's in the game. And can he get it in? You hate to have to throw the ball so close to the goal line.
It's 4th and goal at the 1 after the Patriot timeout. Foster remains. Oh, coverage right there, and no flag. The 13-year veteran showing all the guile those years can build up in Sean Springs. Terrific coverage of the emerging superstar, Andre Johnson.
It starts with jamming the wide receiver at the line of scrimmage. He did a good job of staying in front of Andre Johnson. And remember, if you stay in front of him, you can put your hands on him. And that's exactly what Sean Springs did. They never had a shot.
Well, as a former DB, you must appreciate that kind of coverage against a guy like Johnson, who is just an incredible player.
And that's why Bill Belichick values veteran players. They've been there before, and they've done it. And now we get Brian Hoyer in the game for Tom Brady.
Brady is gone after a couple series. Taylor in the backfield on downs. It goes to
a
fumble and a touchdown. Bernard Pollard. Taylor the fumble. And the Texans have taken the lead.
Penetration early before he can really secure the ball. You get a new quarterback in handing the ball off in Hoyer. Not that it was his fault. It started because watch this quick penetration right there. See, that's 94, Antonio Smith. He causes the play. He's able to hit Fred Taylor before he can even secure the ball. Look at that. Ball comes out into the hands of Bernard Pollard. Huge play by the Houston Texans defense. We told you they were getting better, and boy, did they prove it on that play.
So they lose it on 4th and goal at the 1. They can't do anything with it with an errant pass to Johnson. They go on defense. They take advantage of the field position, and that is no good. Well, it had to be deflected.
Wow.
I mean, we'll have to look at it once again, but that was horrible. It has been a good story defensively for the Houston Texans.
Oh, they come crashing in off the right side of that offensive line. Pollard, smartly, he's standing there, but he's alert. You see the ball comes out, and he recovers it. Didn't panic. Softly recovers the ball for a touchdown.
But kind of amazing that a guy in the secondary can have that kind of influence, along with a lot of other things going on. But nonetheless, when he arrived, when he starts, their defense makes an about face.
Give a lot of credit to the general manager, Rick Smith, of the Houston Texans. He waited a while before he brought in Bernard Pollard. He could have just brought him in right away, but he needed to make sure that Pollard was sold out and bought in to what they wanted to do. He knew he was carrying some baggage, and so being on the street for a little while, Kevin, kind of change your perspective and helps you to appreciate what it means to play in this league.
Always seems to do that. This is Darius Butler bringing this out, starting at the quarterback today. Hit and brought down by Nick Ferguson. Big time hit, 17-yard line, 19-yard return. Flag has been thrown. And John Perry, who heads a crew that has 3 members on it that have worked a Super Bowl in their past, gets a word from his field judge. Maybe an inverted flag. Let's see.
They're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Who threw it and what was it thrown for?
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit. Number 25 of the return team. Half the distance to the goal. 1st and 10.
That's the rookie Pat Chung. Pat Chung is the area is right there getting a load from Bill Belichick. Here is the AFC playoff picture as we stand right now.
New England Patriots trying to hold on to that number 3 seed. And if they're going to hold on to it, they're going to have to do it without Tom Brady in the ballgame.
Fred Taylor is back in there. Remember, as we've talked about a couple times, you're going to send him in motion for the rookie quarterback Hoyer. Walmer with the block at the right tackle. This is a catch made by Edelman, brought down by Dials and by D'Amico Ryans with a gain of 5 and some breathing space to the 14 as Brady is taking. He can still hear the plays, by the way, in his helmet for the young quarterback Hoyer.
And what did Tom Brady tell us about Brian Hoyer? He says, for one, the coaching staff has tremendous amount of confidence in him. He said, if you're only going to keep 2 quarterbacks, myself and this rookie kid, he's undrafted, said they've got to believe a lot in him. And I think he has shown them a lot with the way that he's practiced, the way that he's studied. Tom Brady thought he was smart and conscientious player.
Taken in motion, Hankins back at that guard, 2nd down and 5. Taylor remains. And Jarvis Green-Ellis is the fullback, and here comes Hoyer. And Quinn, among others, going to force him out of bounds. Here's his story. He's from Cleveland. He was a terrific baseball pitcher. In fact, he took his team to a state title. He, at the advice of some coaches, concentrated on football. He had scholarship offers from all over the Big Ten.
Yep.
He chooses Michigan State because they say he can play there right away. And he goes there and he finishes his career number 3 in yards, number 6 in touchdown passes. Honorable mention, all Big Ten his senior season.
The kid was great at Michigan State. He went to one of the most famed high schools in the state of Ohio, Cleveland St. Ignatius, have won a number of state championships. And you know, you play in that program, you're big time. You talked about how he was recruited in the Big Ten, decided to go to Michigan State. I was on the field in Indianapolis when he was at the scouting combine, and I thought he threw the ball as well as any of the quarterbacks who participated in the drills there.
And the interesting thing, he grew up in the Cleveland area, as we talk about. He used to go to the games when Bill Belichick was the coach of the Cleveland Browns, admired him, was a big Browns fan, and the circle closes now as he has a chance to go to any team in the NFL, and one of those choices was New England. He grabbed him a second because of Bill Belichick.
And remember, they let go of quarterbacks who they had drafted, like Kevin O'Connell and some other more experienced quarterbacks just to keep the undrafted rookie.
And Jarvis Green-Ellis in the backfield. We saw Conley walk out. It is 1st and 10. Hankins playing the left guard. Neal playing the right guard. Oh, here comes the rush. He gets away from Cushing. And he throws outside and incomplete to Watson, who caught the ball, but out of bounds. Incomplete pass. That brings up 2nd down and 10. There was a preseason game he played against the Giants, too. which really sold Belichick on him. And to keep him, as you said, over the third-round pick, O'Connell. It's 2nd down and 10. Edelman is outside. Gets a nice block from White. Gets a block from Sam Aiken and runs out of bounds. What great blocking by those receivers and tight ends ahead to the 41-yard line. 17-yard pickup. Dials forces him out of play along with Pollard.
Julian Edelman is Wes Welker reincarnated. Look at these moves. Look at the quick darting cuts. Something that we have become accustomed to seeing from Wes Welker. And this is the same play. We told you the wide receiver screen, run with Julian Edelman, the same play they would normally run with Wes Welker. I mean, if you can lose a player like Wes Welker and replace him with this kind of kid, boy, do you have depth on your football team.
Brian Hoyer on 1st and 10 at the 41. They were coming with pressure. Incomplete, looking for Watson. The coverage by Glover Quinn. You know, talking about Edelman, he went to Kansas
Personal
to
foul,
Kent State.
Roughing the passer.
Oh.
Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic.
Okay,
First down.
this is where Houston really has failed in the past. The penalties, costly penalties and turnovers. And guess who?
Pollard.
Guess who? Bernard Pollard. And we told you that he had come with a warning label, and this is why the general manager waited. He threw a shot, lunged himself. You cannot leave your feet and lunge yourself at the quarterback once he has thrown the ball.
He did come with the shoulder, not the helmet, so he was thinking right there.
You can't lead with your helmet
right.
or your shoulder.
Exactly. 44-yard line with the penalty. 1st and 10. Fred Taylor is in the backfield. He's the one who fumbled in the end zone, and Pollard recovered. Fulmer with the block at the right tackle. That's Aiken, whose best game this season was down in New Orleans. Look at the driving tackle by Quinn and by Tim Bowman, who played his college football at Boston College. A gain of 6, and you can see those defensive backs, including Jack Reeves. Just finishing up on Julian Edelman, he was a quarterback at Kent State. There's another pretty famous player that played quarterback at Kent State who's now a multi-purpose guy in the NFL with the Cleveland Browns.
Joshua Criggs.
Exactly.
We called him the Superman of the MAC Conference, and Julian Edelman replaced him at that quarterback spot. And right now, you're looking at 2 backups who are in the game who are making a lot of plays on this drive. Julian Edelman, who we told you about. Brian Hoyer is throwing the ball magnificently. 3 of 4 so far in the ball game.
And a 2nd down and 4.
Look at that.
Again the time, and Moss on the side, picked up by Robinson. We're at the 2-minute warning. It is 1st and 10 for the New England Patriots. Rookie free agent, Michigan State quarterback Brian Hoyer on the 31-yard line. Into the nickel. They bring him again. Here comes Cushing. One rookie taking down another. Cushing may be the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's a loss of 12 on the play, back to the 41-yard line.
Boy, they do a really good job of bringing Cushing. Look, right here. That's where he's coming from, unblocked. And Sebastian Fulmer saying, I got Cushing, I got Mario Williams, 2 Pro Bowlers, very young players on this defense. You got to block one. Either way, one guy is going to come free to hit your quarterback.
First sack given up in over 4 games, 18 quarters, the first sack right there. And that's the starting offensive line on the field right now. 2nd down and 20. Hoyer. Morris looking for some blocking. Mankin's out there trying to oblige, and then he's brought down on the play by D'Amico Ryans. It's a catch and run of 8 yards on that 2nd and 20. Mark him down at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, and here on 3rd down, as you take a look at Bill Belichick, he's continuing to stay aggressive in what they're allowing the rookie quarterback Brian Hoyer to do, coming in for Tom Brady. He's throwing the ball down the field. He's very accurate with the ball. I think he can do a better job of sensing where the unprotected blitzer is coming from and getting rid of the ball. Can't take a sack in this area of the football field because you got to feel like you can knock one through in field goal range.
Tarwin, the rookie, is the only non-starter in the game, playing the right tackle on this 3rd down and 12, and outside to Edelman. Looking for blocks. He got one from Aiken. He goes inside. He got one from Logan Mankins. Then he weaves his way with a tackle by Okoye at the 25-yard line. That's a 8-yard gain, and with it, they get into field goal range for Gostkowski, who already has drilled one from 51 yards.
And you love the accuracy and the velocity in which the ball comes off the hand of Brian Hoyer.
And here is Stephen Gostkowski. He'll try a field goal. It'll go down to the 33, the 10 yards to the end zone. It's a 43-yard try. The hold will come from the veteran punter, Chris Hansen. Of course, we're indoors, no wind to deal with, but natural grass surface. 43-yard try for the tie at 13. The 2nd field goal today. How big is that missed Chris Brown extra point now? Let's take a look at Julian Edelman. He was terrific on that drive. Gostkowski knocks his second long-range field goal through.
You can see they're going over the Polaroids right now, taking a look at what kind of looks they're getting defensively, because they want him to be able to pick up the unblocked blitzing linebacker, and that's what quarterbacks have to be able to do. The guy's going to come free. You got to be a blitz beater at the quarterback position.
Bill O'Brien was the offensive coordinator at Georgia Tech, the offensive coordinator at Duke. He's only 33 years old, and you know the thing here is you see Schaub coming back out. The one thing you enjoy about Belichick are the young coaches that he has developed over the years, and here is another one you're going to hear a lot about.
A high football IQ is a must. It's paramount if you're going to work for Bill Belichick. You know, he's going to test you. When Gerard Mayo came into our meeting last night, what did he have in his hand? He says, guys, I got 5 minutes, because he has to take a written examination that Coach Belichick give to all his players the night before the game. It's like going back to college. You're going to know your assignments or you're not going to play.
Well, it's proven. There's no doubt about that. It's 1st and 10 with 1 timeout. Here is Schaub. Underneath, Arian Foster, chased by Willard. Still finds his way close to a first down with the catch and run near the 29-yard line. He'll pick up 9 on the play. Well, the playoff scenario for the Houston Texans is pretty simple. They've got to win, and then they need 2 of these 3 teams to lose today. All later games. Baltimore will be at Oakland on CBS. Denver hosting Kansas City, and tonight it'll be the Bengals at the New York Jets.
Yeah, a loss or a tie by 2 of those 3 teams, plus a win today by Gary Kubiak and his Houston Texans, and they'll be in the playoffs. I know it seems like a lot, but we've seen stranger things happen.
The Patriots have 6 in the secondary on the 2nd down and 1. Dreesen belted by Sanders, 40-yard line. They're going to call a timeout here. They get a gain of 10 right there. Nope, they're going to continue to move. Clock continues to tick.
And if you're Chris Brown, you got to get ready to knock one through.
Well, he's got to regain the confidence of his team. 1st down and 10. Blitz is on. Oh, Schaub was crushed, but he gets the pass off. It goes to Dreesen, hit by Merriweather. Oh my gosh, was he belted by Gary Guyton and Sanders. And a timeout has been taken. Also, Brandon McGowan, number 30,
number
came
30.
in and drilled him.
Absolutely, coming off the top of your screen. Look at this. They sandwiched the guy.
Ooh.
He has shown his teammates that he's a tough guy.
Well, let me ask
you
you
go
about
back to that game against Miami when he had the shoulder dislocated, came back into that game. It was incredible. He actually had it happen in a game against Jacksonville.
And that was always the question, don't you think, about Schaub? How tough is he? And I think his presence has grown, as has his toughness in this role.
There's no doubt about it.
There's a 2nd down and 1 underneath once again to Dreesen, getting a block on the play from Walter. The tackle made by Mayo. The clock continues to tick. 13-yard pickup. They got to spike it. They got to spike it from the 38, and they do with a second remaining.
Wow.
Shades of Colt McCoy at the University of Texas, although he threw it out of bounds for the Longhorns. They just get in with that. Look, he's holding on to his right wrist, which can't be good, but they do conserve a second, enough to get this field goal try out there, and here trots the beleaguered Chris Brown.
Yeah, Matt Schaub has started all 16 games this season for the first time in his NFL career.
Good note.
So that is a huge nugget coming into the season. Everyone questioned if he could stay healthy for 16 games.
Look at this, a redemptive 56-yard attempt. High snap again. Nope. Long enough. Wide right. They don't get anything out of it, and the issues continue for the veteran Chris Brown. There was great talk about momentum, keeping that feeling alive that it began in practice the week prior to the Jaguar win. This week, and now you got a game against a very motivated Houston team trying to get their first winning record in the history of their franchise against a New England team, Solomon, that the game for this, good or bad, it's negligible what it will do to their playoff position. They're either 3 or they're 4, but they're in the playoffs nonetheless.
It is a meaningful game, and it's meaningful because Tom Brady said we need to experience success and keep sharpening our knives as we want to remain competitive going into the playoffs.
There's a tackle, and it was made on the play after that 27-yard return by John Beasing. Here comes Tom Brady to start the second half. And Ferguson with a little word to a veteran quarterback, and now Brady coming out, and I guess you can take us a little bit inside the thinking of having him start the second half.
What did Tom Brady tell us last night when we talked to him? He says, I want to play, and I want to win. He was clear. He said, I'm not thinking about any seeds. I'm thinking about getting my team ready for the playoffs.
Well flanked by the running backs, including Sammy Morris. It is 1st and 10, and he breaks a couple tackles and is brought down by D'Amico Ryans along with Russell, the much-traveled safety. It's a gain of 9 on the catch and run. He's up to the 38-yard line, close to the first down.
Don't you love the way that Bill Belichick prepares his team? I mean, they're going to remain aggressive. Yeah, you have running backs like Lawrence Maroney and Kevin Falk who are inactive. But then we've seen guys like Sammy Morris who need the work. If you're going to be a factor in the postseason, there are guys like Fred Taylor who need to play in this game today to get ready for a playoff run.
Taylor's in there right now on this 2nd down and 1. Edelman taking the place of the injured Welker. That is Randy Moss at the bottom of your screen. Good time. Good block by Watson. Going deep, no one home. And almost intercepted, incomplete. Brian Russell had a chance on a play in center field. There's a flag across the way at the 49-yard line in Texan territory.
Clear on the other side of the field, away from where Brady threw the ball.
5-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
I didn't catch the number, did you?
He didn't say, or we couldn't hear him. He didn't have Mike turn on until late, but it was holding on the Houston Texans. That's the way that he was pointing, and it is going to create a new set of downs for the New England Patriots.
Taylor in the backfield. He fumbled earlier in the end zone. The ball recovered for a Houston touchdown, and Taylor gets the call. This play, you've got Cushing and Okoye among the many that make the stop. Then gain on the play to the 46-yard line and a pickup of 4 yards. And again, inactive today, healthy scratches were both Folk and Lawrence Maroney, who fumbled last week and then didn't play the rest of the game when he fumbled on the goal line.
And Taylor fumbled, and he's still in the game. Yeah. You have to trust, I think, a runner like Fred Taylor, a 12-year veteran in the National Football League. And let's face it, he was hit as he was getting the ball from the quarterback, Brian Hoyer.
It's 2nd down and 7. Obviously changing the play as he goes back into that shotgun, flanked by Taylor. Good block by Neal, and he's got his receiver to the hands of Edelman. The coverage by Glover Quinn. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Boy, and you would think that Edelman should have made this catch. Matched up against 29, Glover Quinn. Now watch him come back and adjust for the ball. Is there a little contact? Yes, but watch. The ball comes in right through the hands of Julian Edelman. Have to wonder if it was tipped at the last moment by Quinn.
Again, just updating, Welker injured in the first series, opening portion of the game, hurt his left knee. We saw it bend. It was very obvious. You just saw it moments ago on the replays. The only word we're getting from the New England Patriots is left knee injury, will not return. 3rd and 7. Aiken, bottom of your screen, one of the wide receivers. Morris with the block. They try to set up a screen, incomplete. Boy, he was hit hard. You see the rookie Connor Barwin come in and drill Brady.
Remember, we talked about it.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
He was hit, didn't like being hit. We talked about the Texans trying to create a mortal mentality for Brady and the Patriots. He's going to hit him. He pushed him. That's all that he did. And it was a legal hit. It wasn't overly aggressive, but that's where you start to think about, should we get our quarterback out of the game? And I think if you're the Texans, knowing that health is foremost on the Patriots' mind, you help them to make that decision.
Connor Barwin was a 2nd-round pick out of Cincinnati, began as a tight end, high draft pick, and here's the punt now by Chris Hansen. Waved off by Jacoby Jones. Takes a terrific New England bounce.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Solomon, the last time the Patriots faced a passing offense this good, as you see the comparison between Brady and Schaub, they were whacked against New Orleans. They were losing against Indianapolis. And now they take on the number 2 passing offense today.
And the Texans have not gotten the ball to Andre Johnson since the first possession of the game.
And with the 1st and 10 after the 4th-place punt by New England, that's a pass right on the money. You talked about Andre Johnson seconds ago. Makes the catch. Springs was covering. 23-yard pickup. We're going to spot the ball at the 37-yard line.
He had 2 catches on the first possession of the game. They've come out here in the second half saying, we've got to get him the ball. Working against Sean Springs, coming across the middle of the field. And they accomplished their goal. You cannot lose track of Andre Johnson, and you got to continue to get him the ball in order for this offense to be effective.
Foster is in the backfield, and they've got 4 in the defensive secondary for the New England Patriots. 1st and 10. Foster following the block up there by White. Hit by Guyton, among others. It looks like Burgess got a hand on it right there, gain of 5. Would that concern you if you were a Patriot, the fact that these passing offenses have really taken shots at your secondary? Is that the weak link of this defense?
I think there has been concerns all season long. And for the time they've lost the veteran players on Bill Belichick's defense, Richard Seymour, Vrabel, Brewski, and Harrison, they knew it would be a work in progress. I think on the back end of the defense, we've seen some miscommunication that led to the touchdown by Joe Houston in the first quarter, but their inability to get pressure on the quarterback has to be the major concern.
4 in the secondary on the second down and 5. Nice block up front by Leach, and the tackle made by Banza Kane. We haven't called his name much today. He leads them in sacks. It's a gain of 9 to the 48. It's a first down.
Really good blocking, attacking the heart and soul in the middle of the defense. Look at the block on Gerard Mayo. If you can block the inside linebackers on this defense, then you can run the ball on the interior portion. And give Foster a lot of credit. Getting to the second level of the defense, at 97 yards rushing last week in a win against the Miami Dolphins. And look at what he's done so far today.
First and 10. Good block by the left tackle Brown. That's Treason with the catch. Hit on the play by Sanders, 41-yard line, gain of 7. And remember now, we talk about the weak running attack with the Texans. They lost their 2 starting guards early in the year, and that's important in that run game.
And they have the second worst rushing attack in the National Football League. That's why it's a surprise at how good Gary Kubiak's offense has been. 5th rated offense, 2nd in passing. Despite the poor rushing statistics, they've still been able to put up a lot of big plays throwing the football.
White continues to play the nose for that New England defense. We're just playing the left end. Second down and 3. Ryan Moats blocked by the left tackle Brown. He fumbles the ball, which has been an issue all season long for Houston. Missed field goals at crucial times, fumbling the ball, which has cost players their jobs, and it looks like they have recovered here, thankfully, on a drive that takes them down to the 26. Thankfully, if you're a Houston Texans
They are
fan,
breathing a sigh of relief. There's no doubt. You mentioned it. I think penalties at crucial times, fumbles, and missed kicks by Chris Brown. That's the reason why this team is on the playoff bubble. Look at the blocking up front. Just excellent. Moats slashing through the line, getting to the second level, and forgets to protect the football. And in fact, he was just changing hands with the ball when he put it on the ground. Luckily for Houston, they're able to get the ball back.
Casey is in as a tight end on the near side. Foster is back in. This is a first down from the 26-yard line for Houston. Here's some play action. Dreesen with the block this time. And he's got Foster out of the backfield. Tackle made by Guyton. Rolling him down at about the 18-yard line on the play. Green is out. Myron Pryor is in. Second down and 3. Foster. Pryor makes the stop and the gain down to the 15-yard line. So they pick up 4 right there. Yeah, it's been that kind of season. But I guess as a growing team, as an ascending team, as a team trying to break through, those are some of the growing pains you go through.
Well, they'll learn from those mistakes. Now, Ryan Moats appears to not have learned from the mistake because he just repeated it there. We talked to Matt Schaub about that. He says, he said, I could have run another play before the 2-minute warning. Remember, he allowed it to hit the 2-minute warning. The Colts were able to look at that play, and so once it was reviewed, then it was called a fumble. It was not called a fumble on the field, but that turned out to be a critical play in their season.
First and 10, 8th play of the drive. It started back at the 16-yard line. 4 in the secondary. Shot, here comes the rush, and he'll throw it away. Leach in the vicinity. Dallas Thomas was thinking that maybe he was pushed in his coverage. No yellow on the field, so it'll be second down. Let's once again revisit what the Texans have staring them in the face today.
Playing for their playoff lives, as we said before. They've got to be able to win today. And then how about a loss or a tie by 2 of the following 3 teams, either the Baltimore Ravens, Denver Broncos, or New York Jets. If 2 of those 3 teams either lose or tie, and with the Houston Texans win, they get into the playoffs.
Green back in at that right tackle. Second down and 10 as they empty the backfield with Foster. A good block by the left tackle. That's intercepted and picked off by Darius Butler, and there he goes. It's a foot race, and folks, he's gone. Look at this on the ricochet. Darius Butler, the rookie, starting for the veteran Bud, 91 yards. A terrific play, and here comes the defense of the New England Patriots, and they've taken the lead with 7:43 to play in the third.
And Matt Schaub cannot be happy with Jacoby Jones. The ball goes right through his hands. It was a quick pass. Look at the ball right there. right off his hands. And Butler, the speed of the rookie defensive back, is going to take this one down the sideline and in for a touchdown. We talk about the Houston Texans. Have they matured? Can they beat a big-time team like the New England Patriots? And as they're knocking on the door for more points, they give it up and turn it over once again inside the red zone.
Butler was an option high school quarterback down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Goes to UConn. A terrific first-team All-Big East a year ago. He's drafted in the second round, and there's the extra point put up by Gostkowski. The New England Patriots were 10-5 a season ago, 8-0 at home this season, 10-5 right now, 2-5 though on the road. They'd like to get some good feeling away from Foxborough.
Yeah, that was a big play to help them clinch that number 3 seed. Of course, they need a win today or a Cincinnati loss later today. But, you know, if you talk about the Houston Texans, Dante Robinson put it best. He says, hey, we still have some growing to do as a football team. He said, but this is our next step in terms of a test of maturity. And right now, the Houston Texans are failing that test.
Pittsburgh and Cleveland, by the way, both are winning games right now. And in back of that guy, there was the resting Darius Butler, who was inactive last week against Jacksonville, and who is starting today for the healthy scratch Lee Buck. And this is a nice looking catch, ankle high by Andre Davis, trying to return things right here. Leach with the block, and Bowman with the block, and finally brought down on the play. Two of the great owners in the National Football League, Robert Kraft, Bob McNair. Kraft of the New England Patriots, owning that team since the mid-90s, and Bob McNair brought an expansion team to Houston.
And two classy owners, very philanthropic, do more in their communities as much as anyone. And you take a look at Robert Kraft building a dynasty with the New England Patriots. And Bob McNair, his is a team on the rise. He will win. As you take a look at him with former President Bush, Rick Smith is general manager to his right side with a pair of binoculars as they're looking down the talent brought here. We've seen an improvement with this Houston Texans football team. And Mr. McNair today, he wants to win. I don't think he'll accept anything less.
Here they go after the 91-yard interception return by rookie Darius Butler. First down and 10. Arian Foster, good block by the center, Myers. He's off to the races before Brandon Merriweather drills him at the 49. A run of 24 yards for Foster.
Boy, we're starting to see some fight from the Houston Texans coming off the left side of your screen. Look at the blocking, getting them to the next level. And you have to wonder, is Arian Foster back in the game as to whether or not they can trust Ryan Moats to carry the football?
Well, not since October 25th have they had a run that long. That was good for 24 yards. And again with this number 2 passing offense from the 49, first and 10. Foster calm down this defense. Junior Seau in there, as you always see. Myron Pryor off the bottom there. Brace, it's a gain of a yard to the 48-yard line. They signed him in mid-October. Here he is playing with the kind of emotion and passion that you might see in a rookie.
How many years? 20 years in the NFL. And so you say, okay, we're going to take some of our starters out and we're going to bring in the backups. Well, they bring in a 10-time Pro Bowler and a 20-year veteran, 40 years old, by the name of Junior Seau. And if that isn't depth on your football team, then I don't know what is.
Second down and a long 9. Shell shock this Texan team right now. Fake to Chris Brown. Pocket crumbles and he has to throw it away. Where the pressure was right there. It came from Tully Banza-Kane, who has had a breakout season this year at that outside backer for the New England Patriots.
I think Schaub does a good job getting rid of the ball. Look at pressure coming off here right in his face. Here's Tully Banza-Kane as they pinch the pocket, squeeze it, smartly getting rid of the ball without turning it over.
Ninkovich is going to come in there, a good passing linebacker, passing down linebacker. Burgess will be in the game. How about when they go to those 5 linebackers and those 6 defensive backs? They got that moving defensive front.
It's just another way to try to confuse the blocking up front of your offensive line and still try to get pressure on the quarterback.
The Astrodome just outside the gates of new Reliant Stadium. Third and long 9 after the timeout. Chris Brown in the backfield. Blocked by Dreesen. Buys time for Shaw. Right on the money, caught by Jacoby Jones. Belted out of bounds on the near side by Jonathan Wilhite. On 3rd and 9, picks up 17. Spot him at the 32.
Jacoby Jones had a big game last week, and then we already saw one off his hands, intercepted, return for a touchdown. They go right back to him, and he pays off the throw from Matt Schaub. And Schaub was hot after that pass had hit the hands of Jacoby Jones and ended up being intercepted, but showing trust in Jones. They got to go back to him. Now as they get inside the red zone, protect the football.
And they have had red zone issues today. An interception. They lost it on downs. Here's a 1st and 10. Arian Foster blocked by Dwayne Brown. Bad knee and all. And it's a gain of 4. Leads to the 28.
Arian Foster, there was a couple of weeks ago, first possession of the game. He looked good. It was a chance to start. And he fumbled in that game against the St. Louis Rams, was not brought back into the game. Today, I think he's gotten the message. He's done a really good job holding on to the ball. You see the numbers, the last 2 games, over 170 yards rushing. The previous 4 games, only 41 yards. So last couple of weeks, they're showing a lot of trust in the rookie running back.
Ninkovich is in. A couple down linemen. As you can see, Banner Kane is down in the 3-point stance, as is Burgess. 2nd down and 6. Jacoby Jones blocked by Walter. Run out of bounds on the near side by Sanders to the 19-yard line. 1st down, catch and run of 9.
So if you're going to double and triple cover Andre Johnson, then Jacoby Jones has to be the guy to not only catch the ball, but create yards after the catch. He's going to get excellent work because so much of the coverage for the Patriots is paid to the attention of Andre Johnson.
Shot today, 16 of 27. Touchdown pass to his tight end early in the game. And a pick and a deflection. 1st and 10. Oates was back in. Trying to buy some time and throws it away. Drewson got tangled up with McCowan. So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
You know, we talked about the New England Patriots have struggled to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. I think today they've gotten to Shaw. They've made sure he got his jersey dirty a little bit. They've been able to hit him. Now, they haven't been able to sack him simply because he's so good at getting rid of the football. And we talked to Bill Belichick about Matt Schaub. He says, I'm not ready to put him in that elite class of quarterbacks with guys like Brady, Breeze, and Manning. He said, but boy, he certainly is an above-average quarterback capable of putting up big numbers.
Belichick liked the fact that Schaub could get that ball to so many different guys.
Oh, he gets rid of it very good. You're right, distributes the ball very well.
2nd and 10, Moats. Got by Winston. Ninkovich brings him down. He's played with the New Orleans Saints. He throws him for a loss of 2. It's back to the 22-yard line. Ryan Moats taken down.
Yeah, watch Ninkovich, and he's able to come off blocks, able to get the tackle. You see him right there, number 50, getting right at the waistline of Ryan Moats and slamming the door shut on the running game.
You know, there were so many high expectations put on this team, including the owner on the Houston Tech. He said, I expect nothing less than the playoffs, and he said this back in August.
And that's okay. I think for an owner, I think Gary Kubiak, I think all the players and the fans here in Houston expect to finish above 500. And they have a chance to do that with a win today.
5 in the secondary on this 3rd and 12. Good time for Shaw. Good read by Brandon Merriweather, and there's another loose ball. That's Andre Johnson, who reeled in his own fumble. 21-yard line. Yeah, no gain on the play. They're going to have to try for 3.
So strong, trying to break loose, and sometimes you can try to maintain your balance so well that you lose the football, and that's what happened here. I think the ball did pop out. Fortunately for him, he was able to get it back. See there, he's still in play, and look at he's able to get that ball back.
Well, Chris Brown has tried it on the field. He has missed 10 field goals this season. That is tied for the most misses in the league with Nick Folk, formerly of Dallas. 38-yard try here. Missed again.
Wow.
11 misses this season.
All right, Kevin. I know you once played soccer. We may have to get you out there because Gary Kubiak needs you, buddy.
Here's the veteran Chris Brown. He's missed an extra point. He's missed 2 field goals. And that last field goal was in the red zone at one time for that Houston team.
Tremendous frustration for Chris Brown.
How about Brady still being in for New England?
Hey, they're trying to win. I mean, as much as we're surprised, Bill Belichick did tell it. He told all the guys to be prepared to play for 60 minutes.
It's 2nd down and 4. Edelman again hit by Dante Robinson out to at the 42, picking up 8. They've got Vollmer now playing at the left tackle. They've moved now to the other side. Kazir to the right tackle, and Light is sitting out, and we knew they were going to do this. Rotate a lot of their offensive linemen. Another look at Chris Brown is really struggling.
And we talk about, you know, that shortstop guy who's trying to throw it over to first base. He's throwing it in the dugout. He's throwing it hot. It's a simple play, an easy play that sometimes it's just a mental block, and boy, does he have to find his way back because he may be called on to kick another field goal in this game today. 1st and 10.
Taylor in the backfield. Randy Moss. And hit by Dante Robinson. 45, 1st down, pickup of 12. Well, let me go into the psyche now of everything here, because in the first series, And going into a game, we're thinking, all right, do you start the starters or do you rest them, keep them off? Well, he starts him.
No, Moss is still in the game, as you can see right here.
And Brady's in the game.
Tom Brady's in the game.
So don't you think human nature would say, I'm going to be a little gun shy? I'm going to yank all these guys off right now. I've seen one guy go down. I'm going to protect myself.
Have you ever known Bill Belichick to flinch?
Well, that's my point. He is bulletproof. He is bulletproof.
He's got great equity. He's a 3-time Super Bowl winning coach. If he does it, I believe it.
I'm sure it's crossed his mind, though, because it certainly has ours. But very interesting nonetheless. 1st and 10, Brady. Out of the reach of Aiken. Coverage by Jock Reeves. 2nd down and 10.
You know, champions think differently than mere mortals.
They're wired differently. You're right.
I mean,
I agree.
That's what makes them champions. Tom Brady's a champion. And when he sat with us last night, he looked at us, he said, guys, I not only want to play, I want to win the game. And I looked at him, and neither one of us was surprised by the way that he approached it. And Bill Belichick's wired the same way. He doesn't want to win most of them. He wants to win all of them.
Well, it's next man up because Edelman will probably take the place of Welker. 2nd down and 10. Here is Edelman. Nice little block on the near side by Moss, and then brought down by Cushing with a catch and run, close to a 1st down. Picks up about 10 right there.
This kid is a player. He senses the opportunity, and you can tell he's been waiting for this day, and the day has arrived. You're the guy that gets to play the role of Wes Welker in this offense, and right now the Houston Texans are finding him very difficult to stop. 8 catches, similar to the kind of production along with Randy Moss that we're used to getting from Wes Welker. Julian Edelman is really supplying it for the New England Patriots.
And now here's another college quarterback coming in for the first time today. Isaiah Stanback has come in. 1st and 10, 34. Fred Taylor will juke his way and brought down on the play in the secondary by Russell. Nice looking shifty move of 12 brings him down to the 23, which will end the 3rd quarter. Here's a 1st down. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis is the guy in motion out of the fullback position. Morris back there. Moss is in. Brady is in. Almost intercepted, incomplete. Glover Quinn with a good looking hit on Benjamin Watson.
Nice throw from Tom Brady right in the chest of Watson. He's got to make this catch. And usually tips and overthrows are intercepted as we see the safety coming over the top.
On 2nd down and 10, Edelman. There was a nice block out there by Aiken. They got another block by the big German Fulmer, who's working down the sideline. The left tackle, 12-yard catch and run to the 10. Boy, Miami needs a lot to happen to get in the playoffs today.
Yeah, how about Pittsburgh taking advantage and going down there and playing well.
First and 10 from the 11. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis with the block, and he unleashes Taylor, who is in for the touchdown. Inside the pylon, and for the 2nd time, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis leads the way. He belts Pollard, an 11-yard touchdown run by Fred Taylor. How about that?
Talking about getting ready. It's Fred Taylor getting ready. Look at the block. That's Green Ellis. See the block right there, the kick out, and he just clears the way. Pollard cannot get over in time to keep Taylor out of the end zone.
Fred Taylor gets the touchdown run, his 2nd today. He had one earlier in the game of 4 yards. He rams that baby in from 11. Gostkowski with the extra point try, and early in the 4th quarter, the division champion New England Patriots bound for the playoffs. Fred Taylor tore some ankle ligaments. They had some surgery. He missed 10 games. He was an important free agent acquisition during the offseason after he was jettisoned after 11 years down in Jacksonville. He's come in now in 2 consecutive games, made his footprint for the Patriots, who have extended their lead here 27-13.
And a healthy Fred Taylor could spell trouble for the rest of the National Football League, especially those teams in the AFC, as the Patriots are headed to the playoffs.
Good point. Fresh legs. Here's the kickoff by Gostkowski. And taken by Andre Davis. It's kind of clogged up there. Then he was belted on the play by Pat Chung. They were building this one in Houston as the most important game in the history of their franchise.
And it still is. And they have to be able to summon up some big plays to get into the end zone and compete with the New England Patriots.
On the 31, 1st and 10. They brought in all those linebackers, all those defensive backs. Chavez on the run. Ninkovich was right there along with Burgess. And that is a gain of 3. He's up to the 34-yard line, but some important scores in the minds of Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Buffalo leading, Carolina leading, and if New England wins, automatically they would capture that 3rd seed in the AFC.
There would be no questions. And the Patriots are taking care of their business. And with Carolina and Buffalo winning, as you said, Tom Brady doing exactly what he told us he would do. He was going to come out, he was going to play to win.
He did.
He expected to play all 4 quarters, didn't play in the 2nd quarter. But when he walked back on the field in the 3rd quarter of this game, even the Texans were surprised.
6 defensive backs, a bunch of linebackers, 2nd down and 7. That's caught by Andre Johnson. Sanders has a beat on him, as does the linebacker coming in, Gary Guyton out of Georgia Tech. Gain of 11 on the play, 1st down to the 46.
Well, Andre Johnson is going to continue to stay in this game. He's going to continue to play hard. He's going to continue to try to make plays. Watch him coming over the middle. And then watch how he keeps the defenders off balance and then attack the defenders. He runs into Gary Guyton. Now, he comes off. He's a little shaken up, but boy, he really unloaded. 100th reception of the season. Over 1,500 receiving yards in 2009.
Dancer Kane, the only down lineman, although he's a linebacker. 1st and 10. Deflected by Ninkovich. Incomplete, looking for the wide receiver on the play, Andre Davis, but the linebacker, Ninkovich. What do you think of this 6 defensive back, basically 5 linebacker defense?
Well, it's there to try to confuse the offensive lineman. You don't know who to block. Ninkovich able to tip this ball up. Of course, we say tips and overthrows should be intercepted by the defense. But remember, with Ty Warren out, Vince Wilfork out, they're down on their numbers of defensive linemen. So if you can bring in, 5 linemen, 6 linebackers, and really try to confuse that offensive line all at the same time, I think it accomplish a number of things for the Patriots.
Same defense. 2nd down and 10. Foster was back there. He offered a block. Here's the scrambling job. Across the grain, caught by Kevin Walter. And hit by Merriweather. 1st down, 41-yard line of the New England Patriots. Nice play by Schaub. 13-yard pickup.
Oh, he's hanging in there. See, they're able to pick it up. No defensive linemen in the game, just linebackers and DBs. So once they're able to pick it up, it buys more time for Schaub. Dangerous throw, but complete to Walter.
Burgess is in there, normally a defensive lineman, but they're playing him in an up position. So you have linebackers and defensive backs out there. 1st down and 10. Foster, good block by Dreesen. Good block by Winston. Then he just fell. Why did he just fall out there? Gain of 5 on the play. Burgess was over there to stop him at about the 37. Looked like maybe he just slipped.
Oh, take a look at it. It's going to be interesting. There's the play there, just a run by Foster. They block it. Yeah, he goes down on his own. He just slipped, and then they are able to touch him down.
Earlier in the game, Wes Welker running untouched, cut, left knee buckled. Very obvious on a replay. He was out of the game. The report is left knee will not return. 2nd down and 7. Oh, they got him. Coming down with the nice sack on the play was Burgess, who gets, and Schaub is, that was kind of like the Brady play of the last year. A guy was down, and he kind of crawled and got him at the last second, loss of 8. It's back to the 46. Let's take a look at this again.
2 guys. Look at this. There he is right there. 2 guys are trying to get him.
Now he was still
That's
going.
a good legal hit.
Yep, sure is.
Good and clean.
It is.
Coming from that outside linebacker position, he's a very good pass rusher. In this 3-4 defense, he is an added weapon as a pass rusher.
By the way, that's called the Brady rule now. You can't be down like that and then lunge at a quarterback.
You can tackle him low,
but you
just can't lunge at him.
Exactly.
You can't leave your feet and lunge at the lower portion of the quarterback.
3rd and 15. Danny Kane putting pressure on the pocket here. This is caught by Jacoby Jones. Hit by both Wilhite, Brandon Merriweather. Gain of 17 on 3rd and 15. That's a 1st down to the 29-yard line of the New England Patriots.
And I'm impressed with the play from Matt Schaub. After getting hit, after getting pressure, stands in the pocket on this one and drills a strike to Jacoby Jones and picks up the 1st down. And Jacoby Jones took a lick from Brandon Merriweather.
Jacoby Jones from Tiny Lane College. He was a 3rd-round pick 3 years ago. 1st and 10. Foster in the backfield. Andre Johnson is out. Going deep and looking for Andre Davis. There's a flag thrown. It's going to go on the Pats. It was on Sean Springs, covering in the corner. On a pass, going deep for Andre Davis from Matt Schaub.
Pass interference, number 28, defense.
28 or 29?
He said it was 28. Darius Butler on the coverage. Take a look right here. It
My
is
mistake.
Darius Butler matched up against Davis, since he never finds the ball. See, Butler, you got to find the ball. He wasn't going to catch it anyway, but when you go and hit them without playing the ball in the air, they're going to get you for pass interference, and you give them the ball inside of your own 5-yard line. Huge play by the Patriots defense, allowing possession inside their own 5-yard line.
My mistake. 26-yard penalty. 1st and goal. Penalties, missed field goals, missed extra points.
Ball start, number 76. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Only the 4th penalty on the Houston Texans, but the time that it comes, when they happen.
Oh, take a look at the 3 red zone possessions. Turnover on downs, an interception, return for a touchdown, and the missed field goal. So if you're Gary Kubiak, you've got to be thinking, this is 4-down territory. We're not bringing out the kicker, not right here. We for one, we need a touchdown to be able to put 7 points on the board to make it a 27-20 ball game, and then you can't run the risk of Chris Brown not knocking you through the uprights.
Andre Johnson is back in, 1st and goal at the 8. The block by Winston, right tackle. Oh, good-looking catch. Was he in? They say he was.
Great throw.
They beat Will Height. Yep, they beat Will Height. And it was caught by wide receiver Jacoby Jones, and a good throw by Jean.
Wow. This is the quarterback making an excellent throw, and how about Jacoby Jones? Making up, this was well covered, I thought. 2 defenders in the area. Look at that. Right over both of them, and both feet inbounds for Jacoby Jones. I don't know how he got it over the 2 defenders, and certainly don't know how Jacoby Jones made the catch and came down to get 2 feet in for a touchdown.
The boos are for Chris Brown, who is out there to try the extra point. Of course, he has missed one today already.
Should they go for 2?
Snap again. He gets this. And listen to the crowd.
He won him over.
This is a look at the current AFC playoff picture as it stands. We're at about 3:33 in the East.
They win by the Patriots, and they seal the deal on the number 3 seed. I'm not so sure that, in my mind, at least this year, in the AFC, there's a huge difference between the number 3 and the number 4 seed.
I would agree with you. Stanback was back there along with Matt Slater, who will bring it out. The son of Jackie Slater is hit hard on the play by Bentley, the former linebacker with Seattle and Cleveland. A 26-yard return. Kevin Bentley. Here comes Brady. A 7-point lead, 9.5 to play in the 4th. He has played most of the game. We did see Brian Hoyer in the 2nd quarter.
Let me ask you a question. Now, I know we know the value of Tom Brady, and we talk about getting players ready. A guy like Fred Taylor, who's been banged up and injured, missed a lot of games, a lot of practice. Tom Brady has been banged up.
Yes, he
Tom
has.
Brady has missed a lot of practice. He told us going into last week's game that his ability to practice and then play is what's helping him to improve as a player so far this season. So I'm not so sure it's the wrong thing to do to have Tom Brady in the game right now.
And they've lost Welker already on 1st and 10. The quick hit. And they weren't gun shy at all, were they? And leaving their starters out there even after losing a starter earlier in the game, maybe lengthily, as Welker was knocked out with the left knee.
He told us he has been battling through some things and that he needs to play and he needs to practice.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis hit by Cushing on 2nd down and 7. He picks up 3 yards on the play up to the 27-yard line. Well, you talk about really, I just want to extend this conversation on no great team. Regardless of who the 6 are that make up the AFC or even the NFC, there is really not a great team, especially in the AFC playoffs.
Well, I don't think if you're the Patriots and you win next week in the wild card game, whether it's the Broncos or whether it's the Jets or whether it's the Ravens, you're still going to have to go on the road to either Indy or San Diego. I don't think Bill Belichick and the Patriots are afraid of either of those teams.
And, of course, the peaking is such a big thing, and no one has more momentum right now than New England. They've been playing great. A block by Morris on 3rd and 4. The scrambling Brady brought down, and he was hit on the play by Mario Williams. And the loss is back to the 25. It's a sack for Williams, who's going to the Pro Bowl. Loss of 5, and they'll have to punt it on 3 and out for Brady and his offense.
Well, it's just good pressure. And the fact that they are hustling and they're swarming. And now the playmakers are beginning to make plays on defense. And so you have to give the Houston Texans a lot of credit on defense for getting the ball back from Matt Schaub.
First time Brady has been sacked in 162 pass attempts. Hansen will punt. Jacoby Jones is deep end. Ingram, the rookie out of Hawaii, will long snap it. 35, Jacoby Jones finds a seam. He broke a tackle on the play of Slater. Then he was brought down by Arrington. One of the problems for the Patriots has been closing out games on the road this year.
Yeah, they've blown a fourth quarter lead in 3 games so far this year. All 3 of them have been on the road.
They empty the backfield on 1st and 10. Schaub a little bit low, incomplete, looking for Walter, and the coverage on the near side provided by Darius Butler. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Foster hit on the play by Gary Guyton. Linebacker who starts, catch and run of about 10, close to a first down, just inside the 24.
So a 14-point swing as a result of those miscues. Right now, the Houston Texans would have a 7-point lead. However, they're back in the mix because Matt Schaub has his offense on the move at this point, and we have already told you that the New England Patriots have had a tough time keeping a fourth quarter lead while playing on the road so far in the 2009 season.
There are 5 defensive backs. 1st and 10 from the 24. Foster in the backfield. Brandon Clean among a couple that make him fall, along with Mike Wright. It's a loss of 2. Back to the 27. Mike Wright has put together a string of very good games on that defensive line for the New England Patriots.
Oh, he's done a good job. Number 99, look at him just knifing in, getting into the backfield. Tully Banta-Cain stacking him up also on the block by Joe Dreesen. So Mike Wright, very versatile player, playing the nose tackle position, also the defensive tackle position, can move along that defensive line and make plays.
That's part of the versatility you always talk about that Belichick loves in his players.
You got to be able to do more than one thing to play for Bill Belichick.
2nd down and 12. Foster, they were going for him, and the ball was knocked down and deflected at the line. Looked like Tully Banta-Cain, a guy who was originally taken by this New England team. He left as a free agent to San Francisco. Now he's back and flourishing.
Somehow or another, you got to get him on the ground. Now we're facing a 3rd and long. You got to ask yourself, are you in 4-down territory? Because I think if you know you're going to go for it on 4th down, then you can try to get just a 5 or 6 yard gain. Don't have to necessarily throw the ball beyond the sticks to pick up the 1st down. And I'm not so sure they're going to run out Chris Brown if they can't convert on this 3rd down opportunity.
3rd down and 12. Foster in the backfield. 6 in the secondary. They've got Andre Johnson, 11-yard line as he beats Wilhite across the way. A great throw by Schaub. 15-yard pickup. 1st down, Houston.
This is the cornerback, Jonathan Wilhite. See, you've got to play outside because he had safety help over the top. So you have 2 defenders there, and Brandon Merriweather was helping him over the top. Now what you got to do, undercut that. Go underneath it to pick it off because he had help with the safety over the top. Any double move by Andre Johnson, Wilhite would have been covered by his safety playing over the top.
Still the 6 defensive backs, 1st and 10 from the 11. Look at the time for Schaub. Nice looking catch on the near side by Andre Davis. Over there working on Butler among a couple. McGowan was over there, close to a 1st down, ball at the 1.
So often we say, know where your help is, and Wilhite has to know where his help is in coverage. See, he's off right there. He's got to get closer, understanding that down inside the red zone, things happen much faster. Right now, Kubiak's offense is on the move, knocking on the door to try to tie up the ball again.
And they've got it 1st and goal. You see the numbers on Schaub, his 9th 300-yard passing game of the season.
Haven't been able to run it in, at least not often.
Leach is in as the fullback. Dreesen on the move. Foster diving in for the touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown dive. His 91st yard today on the ground was a vital one for the Houston Texans.
They give up another 4th quarter lead as the Houston Texans pounded in with the running game. As you can see, Eric Winston is fired up. He knows he threw a key block, and he knows they've been banging at this defense all day with not a whole lot of success running the ball in and around the goal line.
How big was that punt return by Jacoby Jones of 30 yards?
Kick.
Yeah, and that's a good point. We're tied at 27 with the extra point. Foster sends it in from a yard. Jacoby Jones returned the punt 30 yards and gave him great beginning field position. And with under 5 to play in regulation in week 17, the final regular season weekend, we are tied at 27. Foster, who had a terrific freshman year at Tennessee, then he did not play well as a sophomore, then came on strong with 12 rushing touchdowns as a junior, faltered as a senior. He was lost in the mix. He was undrafted. He was reeled in here. He spent most of the first part of the season on the practice squad. And when Steve Slayton goes down, this guy is signed off that practice squad. And maybe, just maybe, he is giving him some hope and some confidence in what is one of the worst rushing attacks in the NFL.
And leave it up to Rick Smith, the Houston Texans general manager, where he, I think, has done a fine job mining the college campuses for talent to try to improve this roster. And Foster is one of those kids that you talked about, where he's able to bring him in from the University of Tennessee and already chipping in nearly 100 yards rushing so far in the game today.
Yeah, this game is going to bring you to the edge of your seat or stand up. Here is the return by Isaiah Standback, former college quarterback at Washington, former Dallas Cowboys. Brought down, Bentley was right there. Andre Davis makes the stop, 21-yard return, and he's out to about the 22-yard line. And here comes Tom Brady in a game that he said, as he told us a couple times today, he said, I want to win. 4.5 to play in regulation.
Now, if you're the Patriots and you've got 4:37, remember, I think one of the most underrated things about Bill Belichick's football team is they can get physical. They can bring in 2 tight ends and Chris Baker and Ben Watson, and they can pound the rock. Because I believe if you can pound it with Fred Taylor, there's no doubt in my mind you're going to have a chance to take a shot down the field with Randy Moss.
Brady will study the nickel. First and 10 from the 23. Morrison at his side. And Sammy's going to get the ball. Great defense by Dante Robinson. It's a loss back to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, I think by continuing to spread them out, now you're allowing the Houston Texans to tee off. See, they're getting into the face of the quarterback, Tom Brady, and they're just swarming all the receivers. I think by packing it in and going physical, because when the Patriots have been determined to run the ball, they've been able to do just that.
White is back at the left tackle. Fulmer is back over at the right tackle. Neal playing the right guard. Morris has been taken out. Taylor is in, second down and 14. Oh, they come through. And Brady's got to throw deep, and it was intercepted. It's picked off by Pollard. Tackled by Taylor. Second turnover for New England. Pollard, the guy that got Brady out of last season with the hit. 15-yard return. A big-time interception for Bernard Pollard of the Houston Texans.
This is what I was concerned about. Look, pressure getting to Brady. And that's what forces the high throw, where it's just a punt. And an easy catch for Bernard Pollard. I think by packing it in and running the football, it makes it much more difficult to turn the ball over. And there's the hit by Mario Williams, another Pro Bowler on this defense. They've got 3 of them. That's how much they've improved and how much has Bernard Pollard helped this defense to improve.
I mean, they signed him off the street after he was let go by lowly Kansas City.
Again, they know how to find talent. And I believe this team has improved. They've gotten better, and that's why they need a win today to be able to prove it to everyone around the NFL.
Sam Aiken was down. You see him right there being attended to. It's been a busy day for that training staff over there, and of course it began horribly for Bill Belichick and his New England Patriots. Wes Welker making a cut untouched after a catch. Hurt his knee. They have not given us any kind of update except to say that he will not return. It looked bad, and on the sideline we saw Welker in tears afterwards, knowing that it was not a good scenario.
And remember, the Patriots are resting some guys today, but for the guys who suited up, they're going to play. They're resting Ty Warren. They're resting Vince Wilfork. They're resting some of their running backs, Lawrence Maroney and Kevin Falk. But if you're going to suit up and wear a uniform, then you're going to play, and you're going to play to win.
It's first down and 10 from the 28. Foster. Nice hole hit by Sanders as he crawls over that left guard. He's down to the 22, and Solomon picks up 6 on the play.
Here's one thing I do know. If you're Gary Kubiak and you're Matt Schaub and you're the Houston Texans, as Tom Brady looks on, you're trying to score a touchdown here. You're not trying to get into field goal position. You're not trying to put the game in the hands of Chris Brown. You're trying to finish this thing off by scoring a touchdown.
Wright will be in the nose tackle position. Burgess, along with Jarvis Green, will be in the three-point stance. In the secondary, they've got 4. 2nd and 4. Foster again. Oh, a big block by White. Another tackle by Sanders. Did you see the right guard, Chris White, lead the way in a 12-yard run down to the 10 of New England?
Boy, they are gashing this defense right now. And there it is right there. And see another block. They were getting him to the 2nd level. As you talked about, Wright was able to create a hole, create an opening for Foster to get to the 2nd level. And right now, Jacksonville has been eliminated, losing to the Cleveland Browns, who have played really well in the month of December.
Foster, by the way, career high 118 after his career high 97 last week against Miami. It's 1st and goal. Foster again. Look at him. Submarine his way and push the pile. Wow, what a run for one of the worst rushing offenses in the National Football League. Foster with a 7-yard bulldozing run down to the 3. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. We're tied at 27. 2nd goal for the Houston Texans, who were trailing moments ago. They've come back with a touchdown pass by Schaub, a 1-yard touchdown run by Foster. In fact, Schaub has thrown 2 touchdowns today. Tom Brady has played most of the game. He was just intercepted. And that guy's had a tough day. He's missed an extra point, as Chris Brown, and 2 field goals. Here's a 2nd down and goal at the 3. Foster in the backfield, over 100 yards on the ground. Follows the Leach block. Fonte pushes the pile, and he is in! And the Texans have taken the lead on a touchdown run of 3 yards. They have called this the most important game of the season. And the Houston Texans trying to capture the win and, in essence, capture their first winning season in the short history of this franchise.
And Gary Kubiak does what the Patriots should have done. After the interception by Bernard Pollard, Gary Kubiak dials up 4 straight run plays and pounded right at the New England Patriots to run it in for a touchdown, deciding not to put the game in the hands of their kicker, Chris Brown, who has failed them today. Could have had 7 points as a result of his missed kicks.
Here's the extra point. That is through, and with 1:54 to play in regulation, the Houston Texans have gone up by 7. Houston with 21 unanswered 4th quarter points. And before our new audience joined us, we were talking about how lost opportunities on the road for the New England Patriots, unable to close games on the road, have affected them all season long. And this is what Houston's got right in front of them now. They got to win, and they need 2 of the 3 teams to lose. Baltimore, which will play right after this on CBS out in Oakland. Denver will host Kansas City out in the Rockies. And then tonight, it's Cincinnati at the New York Jets.
So much on the line for the Houston Texans. Not just the potential to get a playoff berth, but their 9th win of the season would give them their first winning season in the 8-year history of the franchise. And then to do it by beating Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and the New England Patriots, I think it would have to be a very special day in the Houston Texans' short history.
And if you look one more layer deep in this Texans story, of course, the 4th-year head coach, Gary Kubiak, wanting a 5th. The owner, Bob McNair, would not confirm earlier this week whether Kubiak would be brought back. A win today over a team as good as the New England Patriots would go a long way into bringing that 5th year to his head coaching
You
tenure.
win today, he'll be back. Because we've seen some real improvement with this team. They've overcome so much adversity throughout the season. And how about this? They've overcome a lot of adversity in this game today.
Now the New England Patriots trying to recapture some of that great momentum they had after that meaningful win last week over Jacksonville. As Tom Brady said, we want to continue our momentum. He'll take it right here. This is Matt Slater out of UCLA. A foot race with McCain, and knocked out of bounds at about the 34. A 34-yard return. Brady will not return, as you can see. They're going to go to their rookie, free agent, 2nd-string quarterback, Brian Hoyer, who played a little bit in the 2nd quarter. He is undrafted and a rookie out of Michigan State.
Well, here's the deal. You had Brady in on the previous possession, and he was hit. And then he threw the high pick and an interception. I'm sure he's not happy about coming out. And he's going to do exactly what his coach tells him. Tom, come out of the game, so he's going to come out. The way we saw Brian Hoyer throw it in the 2nd quarter, don't be surprised if he leads them down the field.
Randy Moss is out of the game as well. 1st and 10. Good throw. Benjamin Watson drilled by Jacques Reeves. 45-yard line, 11-yard pickup on the play. It was a preseason performance by this kid against the New York Giants, brought the team back. He was sharp, he was quick, and that sold Belichick in having a rookie free agent as the backup quarterback on this team.
They were down 21 points in that game, and he brought them back for a win.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis on 1st and 10. Hit by Cushing. To midfield he goes, and he picks up 5.
So he certainly can make plays. We've seen him throw the ball with great success in the first half. And so now their ability to get the ball down the field, it's going to take a touchdown to do it.
It is 2nd down and 5. Copen with a nice block. Edelman taking the place of the injured Wes Welker. Copen again throws a block downfield. Glover Quinn along with Russell make the stop. Gain of 9. 1st down. Move the chains. 42-yard line. And a timeout taken by the Houston Texans. This game began horribly for New England. Wes Welker hurt his knee. He's been out for the entire game.
Yeah, but they have a Wes Welker clone in Julian Edelman. Look at his darting speed and quickness, creating yards after the catch, much in the same way we've seen Wes Welker do in the 3 years he's been with the Patriots.
There's the play being sent in by the quarterback coach of this New England Patriot team, Bill O'Brien. That's an update look right now at the AFC playoff picture. Jacksonville is out, so 4 teams need help.
Well, again, the Jets and the Ravens, they have a win and they're in scenario. No questions there. And Houston need 2 of 3 teams to lose today while getting a win against the Patriots today.
Stand back, Slater, Edelman are your 3 receivers. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis is the running back. It is a 1st down. 2 timeouts remaining for New England. Niftily moving up. Look at this. Flag thrown. Incomplete. Isaiah Stanback was in his sights. And we've got 43 seconds to play in regulation with 2 timeouts remaining for New England and 2 for Houston. Over the head of the receiver.
12 men on the field at the snap.
Wow.
Defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay. 1st down.
Tough time to make a penalty there.
No wonder they were able to stop. You get an extra guy, you should come up with a stop. Gary Kubiak's thinking, what are we doing out here? And I'm starting to notice something because Brian Hoyer is giving them something that maybe Tom Brady doesn't give them. He's very mobile in the pocket.
.21 unanswered 4th quarter points by the Houston Texans. 1st and 5. 6 in the secondary for Houston. 2nd string quarterback, rookie free agent Brian Hoyer in the game. Great catch and a terrific throw was made by Slater. Flag is down. The catch at the 13-yard line. 23-yard pickup as it stands right now.
Wow.
It's against the New England Patriots.
Number 61. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay.
It was on the right guard. Stephen Neal, who's had a terrific season on this offensive line for the Pats.
Well, they're having a tough time blocking number 90, Mario Williams, who's doing an excellent job of putting pressure on the quarterback. He's able to get into the backfield. Take a look at number 90. See as he's coming around, and there's right there, yanking him to the ground.
1st and 15. A 1st down can be captured about the 31. 2 timeouts remaining for New England. Hoyer. Good block by Vollmer, the left tackle. Incomplete, out of the reach of Edelman. Linebackers covering him. D'Amico Ryans and Cushing. It'll be 2nd down and 15.
With only 29 seconds to go, Patriots do have 2 timeouts left. And so they can take a shot down the field, and they can take a shot over the middle of the field, where normally you don't have any timeouts. You don't want to throw it over the middle of the field because it would only require you to get out of bounds in order to stop the clock.
7 defensive backs. 2nd and 15. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. Lead block by Logan Mankins to the 34. Hit on the play by Glover Quinn among many. It's an 11-yard pickup, so the Texans are trying to capture their first winning season in the short history of their franchise as we welcome another new audience and go to 9-7. They are still alive in the playoffs if they win. Now for the New England Patriots, they're trying to clinch that number 3 seed in the AFC.
Now that's what's at stake for them. Now they can still keep it if Cincinnati loses tonight, but if you're the Bengals and you covet that number 3 seed, if the Patriots have lost earlier in the day, how much do you keep your starters in that game tonight against the New York Jets?
The owner, Bob McNair, and that's what the Houston Texans are hoping for, a win, and then they need 2 of the 3 following, Baltimore, Denver, or the Jets, to lose. They need 2 of those 3 to lose later on, either this afternoon or tonight when the Jets will take on the Cincinnati Bengals. It is 3rd and a long 3. Hoyer with Green Ellis at his side. 7 defensive backs, 7 of them. Hoyer, incomplete. Edelman. Coverage on the play by rookie Bryce McCain out of Utah. 18 seconds to play. It'll be 3rd down.
And they've had Edelman open twice on that play, and Hoyer just missed him just a little bit. Remember, it's an option route by Edelman. He starts inside and then has to dart back outside, but you can see both he and Edelman just a little bit out of sync on that option route.
I said 3rd down. It is 4th and 3 with 18 seconds to play. Hoyer dropped. That's it. Edelman couldn't get it. Coverage by the rookie McCain.
A historic day here in Houston. And here's the play. Edelman coming off the right side of your screen, trying to get it in. McCain's there. So is Cushing. And then Gary Kubiak couldn't watch. The excitement and the anticipation is too great. And now he can smile.
The Texans scored 21 unanswered points in the 4th quarter. The clock will run down. You know what they said was the most important. And how about this? Brown missed a couple of field goals and an extra point. He was the GOAT if they lose. And the owner gives him a big hug. Brown was an original Texan for Bob McNair. And there's his coach, who in all likelihood will be coming back for a 5th year.